He ruled Iran for 36 years. He survived assassinations, wars, sanctions, revolutions, and repeated popular uprisings. He outlasted 8 American presidents. And in the early hours of Saturday morning, February 28, 2026, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed at his desk in his office in Tehran in the first wave of American and Israeli airstrikes. Iranian state television confirmed his death before dawn on Sunday. He was 86. 4 members of his immediate family, his daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, and grandchild, were killed alongside him. Iran declared 40 days of national mourning and a 7-day national holiday. And now one of the most consequential succession crises in the modern history of the Middle East has officially begun. Let's take this seriously because it deserves to be taken seriously, not as a celebration, not as a condemnation, but as an analysis of what actually comes next. Because what comes next matters enormously for Iran, for the region, and for every country now watching from a distance that is shrinking by the hour. Start with the succession. Here is the constitutional reality. Iran's constitution says the Assembly of Experts, an 88-member body of senior Shia clerics, elected every 8 years by popular vote, but with all candidates first vetted by the Guardian Council, must select a new supreme leader as soon as possible. Until they do, an interim leadership council composed of Iran's president, the head of the judiciary, and a senior member of the Guardian Council assumes collective power. In theory, that means reformist President Masoud Pezeshkian, hardline Judiciary Chief Gholam Hossein Mohseni-Ejei, and a Guardian Council representative govern together while the Assembly deliberates. In practice, as the AP noted Sunday morning, it is unclear whether the Assembly of Experts can even risk convening while American and Israeli bombing campaigns continue striking Iran's senior leadership. As one analyst from the Yorktown Institute put it, octogenarians do not make good sprinters and would make too tempting a target. The succession picture has been made dramatically worse by the strike itself. Before the bombs fell, the New York Times reported that Khamenei had privately named 3 potential successors during the June 2025 war with Israel: Chief Justice Gholam Hossein Mohseni-Ejei, Chief of Staff Asghar Hijazi, and Hassan Khamenei, the grandson of the Islamic Republic's founder. Israel confirmed that Hijazi was killed in Saturday's strikes. Ali Shamkhani, Secretary of the Defense Council, one of Iran's most senior security figures, and widely considered among the most capable of managing a transition, was also confirmed dead by Israel and later by Iranian state media. 2 of the 3 men Khamenei had secretly designated are now gone. The CIA, which according to Reuters produced a formal succession assessment just 2 weeks before the strikes, had concluded that hardline figures of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps are the most likely candidates to take power. That IRGC dimension is the most important single variable in Iran's future, and it is the one that is most difficult to predict. The IRGC is not simply a military force. Over 4 decades, it has become the dominant economic and political institution in Iran, controlling an estimated fortune of more than $100 billion in business assets, ranging from construction to telecommunications. Any new supreme leader, whether clerical or secular, will require the IRGC's backing to govern. The Council on Foreign Relations published an analysis just 8 days before the strikes that stated with clarity, the most likely outcomes for leadership change in Iran are also the least auspicious for U.S. interests. A new leader drawn from Khamenei's ideological orbit or a shift to direct military governance would likely extend Iran's investment in regional proxy forces and its pursuit of nuclear capability, not end them. The Middle East Forum went further on Sunday, warning directly that the post-Khamenei vacuum could produce a military junta rather than any constitutional succession at all. Khamenei's own son, Mojtaba Khamenei 56, has long been mentioned as a potential successor. He has no formal government title but exercises significant behind-the-scenes influence, particularly with the IRGC and the Basij paramilitary. He was reported in mid-2025 to have been excluded from the Assembly of Experts' confidential shortlist. Ali Larahani, former parliament speaker, former IRGC commander, holder of a doctorate in Kantian philosophy, and currently serving as secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, has emerged in Sunday's reporting as the most likely figure to manage the transition, whatever form it ultimately takes. Khamenei had pre-delegated state management duties to Larijani before the strikes. The Seoul Economic Daily, citing the New York Times, reported Larijani was considered by Khamenei as the most capable figure to hold things together in a crisis. He is pragmatic by the standards of the Iranian system. He was also instrumental in ratifying the 2015 nuclear deal, which hardline IRGC figures have never forgiven him for. Inside Iran, the reaction to Khamenei's death has split the country in ways that were visible within hours. Celebrations erupted in Tehran, Isfahan, Karaj, Shiraz, and Kermanshah, and among Iranian-American communities in Los Angeles. In Mashhad, at the Imam Reza Shrine, mourners wept in the streets, holding portraits of the man they considered their supreme leader. Iran's exiled former Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi released a video urging Iranian security forces to join the nation and help ensure a stable and secure transition. Iran's President Pezeshkian, in an official statement, vowed that Khamenei's pure blood will root out American Zionist oppression. Both reactions are authentic. Both are happening simultaneously. That is the Iran that now has to build a future. The strikes themselves in scale were historically unprecedented for the Israeli military. The IDF confirmed that 200 fighter jets flew the largest operational mission in Israeli Air Force history, striking 500 targets across Iran. The Pentagon confirmed no American deaths or injuries in the operation as of Sunday morning. Iran fired hundreds of missiles and drones in retaliation, targeting U.S. military facilities across 7 countries. Iran has warned that the Strait of Hormuz, through which approximately 1/5 of the world's oil consumption passes, has been closed. More than 2,400 flights to and from Middle Eastern destinations have been canceled, with some airlines suspending service through the end of next week. Oil markets are expected to spike sharply at Monday's open. Trump told CBS News' Robert Costa on Sunday that a diplomatic solution is now easily possible. Much easier now than it was a day ago, obviously, because they are getting beat up badly. He said he knows who is running Iran, but would not specify. He said there are some good candidates when asked who he would like to see in charge. That answer, there are some good candidates, is either a president with a specific outcome in mind or a president improvising in real time in the middle of a war. The Council on Foreign Relations, the Middle East Forum, and Brookings Institution all said the same thing before the first bomb fell. American assumptions about what replaces the Islamic Republic are almost certainly wrong. The IRGC has enormous institutional staying power. Iranian nationalism, historically, has rallied around the state under external attack, not collapsed. The protests that killed thousands of Iranians over the past year were directed at the regime, not at Iran itself. What fills the vacuum left by 36 years of the most powerful figure in Iranian history is not yet determined. It will be shaped by the IRGC, by the Assembly of Experts, if it can convene, by Larijani, by Mojtaba Khamenei, by Reza Pahlavi from his exile, by the Iranian people in the streets, and by the bombs that are still falling. Stay with us.